Hi Forge followers, John Carlo here with Forge Recruitment. Today I'm speaking with Vanessa, a recent grad who was able to apply some simple yet effective job searching tactics to land her first job in her ideal field. Everyone knows that job searching as a new grad, or even someone looking to break into a new career with little to no experience, is extremely difficult. The landscape is very competitive, and most companies are looking for experienced people who can hit the ground running. So Vanessa, first off, tell us a bit about yourself and what you did in school.
Sure. So in my Bachelor's of Science, I majored in chemistry and then followed through with my Master's in molecular science.
And what did you want to do with your degree?
I wanted to step into the industry in chemistry, specifically in the cannabis sector.
So Vanessa is someone I recently helped, and while she applied these search tactics to the cannabis and science industry, they can be applied to any industry, especially legal. So Vanessa, when you finished school and started applying to jobs, how did you find the job market?
I found it quite difficult for a recent grad, as most of the entry-level positions were still looking for 3 to 5 years experience.
And so when the job boards weren't necessarily working, what tactics did you take?
So I ended up reaching out to the connections I had made in my master's degree, specifically from business cards. I would reach out to them via LinkedIn. I would then try to connect with them, and once I did connect with them, I would then send them personal messages and see if they'd be willing to chit chat with me to give me some advice to get into the market.
So let's just dive a bit deeper in that. Can you take me specifically through your LinkedIn approach and what messages you were sending and how you were engaging with people?
Sure. So I pretty much treat it like a full-time job, and I would connect with everyone that I had met or connections of those connections already. And I would personally send them thank you for connecting with me. Would you be willing to have a phone call to, help me get some more advice or figure out more about the sector and how I could break through?
And how many of these would you be sending?
So I would pretty much send 100 a day.
Okay. And did you find people were relatively responsive to them?
Yes, because most of them, specifically in this sector, it's quite fresh, so everyone was willing to, educate you about how to get into it, and just most of all, they loved talking about themselves and how they got into it and just want to share the wealth.
And so how did you go from LinkedIn to then landing your job?
So I ended up connecting with someone in my sector who was willing to have a phone call with me, and once I spoke to her over the phone, she was willing to connect me with any of her connections, and that's how I landed the job. So one of her connections was actually my boss.
Amazing. And so what would be your advice to other new grads?
For recent grads, I would say really tap into the connections you've already made through your master's or undergraduate career. Speak to professors, because they definitely know people in the industry as well as academia. And just reach out to those individuals, and then utilize your LinkedIn like you would Facebook or Instagram, and treat it like a full-time job to find a full-time job.
Fantastic. So again, if you're a new grad or someone looking to break into a new job with little or no experience, using LinkedIn smartly and consistently will produce results. Doing this while also applying to jobs via job boards, going to networking events, and volunteering if you can, and approaching your job search as if it's a full-time job will help you get that first role you need to jumpstart your career. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions around this or any other job searching tactics, be sure to contact us. Happy job hunting and good luck.